January 9th, 2024. 4 is MI p.m. Eastern Time. The official X account for the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, the body sworn to protect investors, posts a single, explosive tweet. Bitcoin spot ETFs have been approved. In the span of 60 seconds, the market valuation of the world's leading cryptocurrency surges by billions. This wasn't a regulatory announcement. It was digital sabotage. How did a trusted financial regulator's digital armor crack open, creating the perfect, televised cover for a crime potentially worth more than $15 billion? Just hours later, the SEC confirms the post was unauthorized. The official story locks down a hack. But the arrest made days later, an Alabama man, is merely the delivery boy. The real mystery isn't how the tweet got out, but what criminal proceeds the tweet was designed to hide. This is the story of the $15 billion crypto cult and the SEC hack trail. Chapter them. The 5-minute coup. The screen flickers, showing a shattered digital representation of the SEC logo, like a hologram falling apart under pressure. The electronic hum of servers fighting a breach seems almost audible beneath the narration. The goal of the hack was maximum, immediate chaos. The institution tasked with protecting the market was used to attack it F-15. For 5 minutes, the perpetrator wielded the authority of the SEC, moving the market, causing a sudden, violent surge in value F-16. This was not about proving a technical point. This was about liquidity. It was about taking vast amounts of already stolen currency and making it suddenly spendable. The person arrested in Alabama for executing the hack was merely the one who pressed the button that day, F1. But the funds he allegedly profited from were not new. They were years in the making, derived from a pattern of theft so deep, the government is now deploying its most serious weapon against organized crime. The RICO statute, F4. The path to the SEC hack begins much darker, much further away from the polished halls of Washington, D.C. Chapter 2. The invisible theft. The sound of a phone glitching, a slight electronic spike, marks the transition. We jump back to the root cause, the slow, systematic bleeding of individuals through social engineering. The funds allegedly connected to the SEC event were sourced from long-running SIM swap attacks F2. Imagine waking up to find your entire digital life, your banking, your two-factor authentication, your crypto wallets is no longer yours. The weak link isn't the blockchain, it's the phone in your pocket, F7. Syndicates, often with internal compromise from telecom employees, hijack mobile numbers, gaining access to the keys to digital vaults. In one specific case, this cybercrime escalated into physical menace, involving victims subjected to home invasions to force over access codes, stealing over 4,000 Bitcoin in a single hit, F5, F20. This isn't isolated theft. This is a coordinated enterprise against American wealth, treated by federal prosecutors as organized crime, F4. Following this money requires tracing its shadow across the entire globe, watching glowing Bitcoin icons navigating a labyrinth of decentralized ledgers, F8, F19. The deeper investigators dig into these theft rings, the clearer it becomes that they are merely the operational units for something far larger, requiring an infrastructure capable of laundering hundreds of millions in 3. The cult and the shadow state. A low, resonant pulse begins, suggesting a massive, hidden entity. We leave the individual hacker behind and step into the shadow economy. The sheer volume of stolen cryptocurrency points toward an ecosystem of massive, transnational scams that need continuous, high-profile laundering opportunities. The trail leads to allegations surrounding a figure named Chen Zhu, the alleged leader of the Prince Holding Group, facing indictments for running a scam valued at an unbelievable $15 billion F3. This wasn't just online deception. This operation reportedly involved holding victims captive in forced labor camps in Cambodia, F17. The digital front is powered by terrifying real-world exploitation overseas. The criminal enterprise of that scale requires exit strategies, and the SEC hack provided a perfect exit. A momentary wash cycle for billions in illicit crypto, masked by geopolitical news F12. But the connections don't stop at organized crime. The financial warfare space in cryptocurrency is often shared by nation-states seeking revenue to bypass sanctions. Evidence exists that North Korean government hackers are actively engaged in similar digital financial warfare, utilizing ransomware to generate funds that inevitably flow into the crypto ecosystem F6, F18. When nation-states compete in the same digital trenches as criminal cartels, the lines between organized crime and foreign policy blur entirely. Chapter 4. The Core Connection. The tension ratchets higher. We are now searching for the specific, verifiable connection that unites the man arrested in Alabama, the SIM swap syndicates, and the leaders of these multi-billion-dollar international scams. The central knowledge gap. The scale is what ties them. If you have billions generated by fraud and kidnapping, you need a mechanism to legitimize it on a global stage, and manipulating the highest financial regulators in the world provides that mechanism. The DOJ is following complex blockchain trails F8, trying to connect the $230 million Bitcoin thefts to the sudden market-moving event orchestrated through the SEC's compromised account F16. But why the SEC? Because the theft rings needed one single massive event to push their already accrued digital gains into the mainstream financial currents without raising immediate red flags across thousands of smaller transactions. The SEC hack was the perfect smokescreen, a spectacle of digital infiltration that allowed the real laundering to occur unnoticed in the resulting market frenzy. The question that keeps federal investigators awake is not if these groups are connected, but how deeply the state-sponsored actors share techniques or infrastructure with the criminal cults running the 15B operations. The digital ghost money is being traced, but the architects operate across continents, hiding behind layers of shell companies, compromised telecom workers, and compromised social media accounts. The ability of a single Alabama hacker to disrupt global finance is terrifying, but it only proves that he was a pawn. The real conspiracy is the quiet, years-long construction of a shadow financial system, one that uses the credibility of regulators and the desperation of victims to fund itself. And if the gates of the SEC can be breached so easily, leaving us with these open questions about who is funding what, then the very foundation of trust in the digital economy is the next asset targeted for theft.